Hello, and welcome to another episode of, well, this is really Let's Fix It. I don't think this is overly extreme, so I don't think it really qualifies to be an episode of Beyond Economical Repair. What we have here is an IBM R52 laptop and its motherboard. The reason being is this was converted to a T42 board for some reason, and due to malfunction problems it was discarded. Probably because it has a T42 board in it. So what we're going to do today is we are going to switch over the motherboard from the old one to the new one, and obviously I'm going to be using the Lenovo service manual. I did have it up at one point. That does prove how ready I am for things. So 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, now I have the manual all pulled up, ready to go, so let's enhance, and let's get started, shall we? So this was released in April 2008. Cool. Contents, you don't need to read the contents. Just scroll down to the part that actually involves disassembly. All the way down. Oh, hang on. FRU replacements. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's step one. Step one, remove the battery. Well, that's pretty easy to do. So I just remove the battery. I mean, how hard can removing a battery be? There we go. Battery is removed. This battery works fine. It's the functioning one of the pair. The one of the T42 doesn't work at all, so it's a good test battery for things. So that's our computer. So what's our next step? The Ultra Bay. Well, there's nothing in there anyway, so we can skip that step. Hard disk drive. Oh, I didn't bring my toolkit. That's another problem. Okay, I got the toolkit now. So let's get started. So we need a Phillips head, I think, for this. Oh yes. There's no hard drive, but that's the bracket that we took out, so that's another step done. $1040 DIMM. Okay. There is a DIMM in here. It's a Crucial. Very strange looking Crucial. It's got blob chips on it. It's a Crucial 1GB, 200 pin SODIMM, 128M64, CT12864X335AP.OPTY. Cool. I did catch my nail on the pit and the metal things for the thing. Yeah, that makes sense. And then there's 4 screws. Is that for the keyboard? Screw 1A is only for models with a 14-inch LCD. Well, this one's huge, so I don't think it has that. Okay. So we're looking for things with the keyboard symbol next to them. Keyboard, keyboard, keyboard. That's 3. Oh, 1A, so there's only 3. Okay, so there are no screws for the keyboard. It's something we should probably acquire. And it wants us to open the computer now. Ooh, delightful. I like opening this up. Ooh, nice hefty hinges, although I think this whole unit comes off in one piece. Yeah, it looks like it just comes off in one piece. There's a wire connecting it here. Apparently IBM says that there's a step for removing the keyboard. I mean, maybe. But there's like this clip here, which looks like it's not supposed to be like that. I don't suppose there's too much different. So yeah, we can leave that step out. Unconnect. Although that's telling me I've installed it. Ultra Bay device. You mean this entire module? Holding the switch in the direction of arrow 1, which is that. Push the Ultra Bay out device out with a screwdriver. Or is that referring to the... That's referring to the actual... That's referring to the DVD drive. We already took it out in like step 1. Okay. Another DIMM, but there isn't one in here. Modem daughter card. Okay. There's 2 screws holding that down. Neither of which really want to come out. Unplug that. Unplug this. There we go. Put those here. Yeah, modem daughter card. Turn the card over and detach the connector. But there was like a Wi-Fi thing going in there. How does that work? Oh, it's a Bluetooth. My, well that's interesting. The keyboard bezel, well we've already taken that out alongside the keyboard, so I think we can skip that step. Lots of screws though. Touchpad, trackpad, no, that's only telling us to replace the trackpad, we don't need to do that. Mini PCI adapter, don't have one. Fan assembly, we also don't have one of those. CPU. I guess we can remove the CPU. There's no harm in doing that. I mean, last thing we want is it getting damaged. Sweet. Let's move on to the next step. Backup battery. Well, there should be one here, but there isn't. So, speaker assembly. There is a speaker assembly, but I don't think there's any screws holding it in. No, there isn't. That comes out like that then. Excellent. And then there's an IE 1394. Well, there is nothing even in the section. And then it wants me to remove like a screw from in here. that's that, I guess. Found something else that we can take care of, I think, which is the PC card slot. The only problem is it's not even screwed down, so yeah, it just pulls right out. It's usually supposed to be secured down with 2 screws, evidently, but those 2 screws do not exist, so out that comes. Right, so there's a screw under here it wants me to take out. Granted, it looks pretty stripped, so we may not use it again. So where does this connect to then? It just pulls this bit out. I'm not sure exactly what that was for. And we'll just take that bracket out that we've already taken out. Let's deroute some Wi-Fi cable. So I'm assuming it means this one. Yeah. Deroute. Does conveniently tell us where all the cables go, and then remove the cable guide completely. That you can do that. Apparently you can. We're going to need to unplug the modem wire and this wire as well. There we go. Shape of the bracket might be different on some models. Yeah, so this is how it came out on mine. So that's supposed to come off. Oh no, it's missing 2 screws, which apparently attach it to something cool, I think. What else do we have? There's like a little tab back here, I think, somewhere. Is that what that is? Loosen it, see what comes off. I don't see anything. I've taken a screw out. Don't know if that bracket changes. Well, apparently there's lots of screws holding this in, but I only see 2 holding it in. Which is that one and this one. Yes, apparently the whole thing is supposed to come out now. But it doesn't because it's bound back here by one of the hinges. Screws 11 are only for models with a 15-inch LCD. I didn't see 15. Oh, 11. LCD assembly. Well, I would assume it would want me to take this out so I can fully take this out. Which, obviously you can't see any of this. I've blocked it, but there are 2 screws on either side that we take out. Take out 1 screw at a time, obviously. Getting rid of the LCD assembly does help in a way. It makes things neater. But one thing I have noticed is that IBM are ridiculously overcomplicated with what they do. So let's get that out. That's not even an original screw, so we may need to find more suitable original replacements. Or maybe that's just step one. Apparently that's supposed to be under a cover as well. Oh yeah, unconnect that. Disconnect, and apparently there's a seventh screw in here. Oh, there is. I see it. It's being blocked by a stupid Wi-Fi cable. Who needed Wi-Fi anyways? What was wrong with just cable? That was a joke. Okay, so we'll take this out, obviously. It's a ridiculously long screw, my goodness. Now can I take this out there? Yay! LCD has been removed, and as our metal drive cover thingy. Sweet, so that should just leave us with the system board, which we should have no trouble removing and changing over for the R52 board now. Yeah, next step. VGA and Ultra Bay Enhanced Device Eject Button cable. Well, there's a VGA port here, which apparently isn't held down with anything. It just comes off. Okay. Yeah, I think quite a few screws need to be replaced. That's fine. I will happily go through the toil and trouble to replace those screws. They're just screws. And there's an option to detach that from the metal bracket, but I don't need to because that's all present. System board interposer card and base cover. Interposer card? Is it what this thing is here for the DVD drive? Looks like it. Screwed in. Wait. Let's go back. Let's look at this. Security chip is soldered to the underside of the system board in figure A. Cool, nice to know, but I don't care because this boots up fine without it. And both boards work. They don't have BIOS password. B is... What? System B? What is System B? Oh, HDD Active Protection System, which is like a rock sensor, which detects if your computer is being dropped off a cliff and parks the hard drive heads. When handling the system board, bear in mind it has an accelerometer that can be broken by several thousands of g-forces. I don't think my hands can withstand several thousand g-forces, so I think it's fine. If your system board is dropped, test it using PC Doctor for DOS. Is that an IBM program? Or are they just promoting some guy's program that they made in 2002, probably? Okay, let's go to taking screws out, shall we? Right. I'm now confused. Right, there's apparently two screws on the interposer card, one of which being here. That's helpful. Put that there. And apparently there, but there wasn't one there, so just disconnect. There we go. Pull that up. Get that out of there. Put the screw that came off with that board. That's all adhered, so that's screwed down. The board is quite loose now. And apparently there's a screw under here. No, nothing in between the audio jacks, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe a screw next to the USB ports under a cover. I do see something like that. Yes. I see. There. Oh, there's nothing there. Okay, cool. And that's it, really. Obviously, that's not the only screws holding this down. We will obviously have to... No, another screw fell out. I don't know where that one came from. Whoopsie. It's fine. We got the service manual, so we know how to put things back together. And I've skipped past that step. No, I haven't. That was the previous step. No, apparently there's like some latches that hold the board in. I see one here, which is loose. I also see this weird little bracket that holds down the power jack. That was never mentioned in a disassembly step. That's fine. That can stay on the board, apparently. I'm going to take it off. Just for the reasons that the other board does not have one. I mean, there's no need to have one. It's not even in part and port of everyday life. Maybe that's enough. No, apparently it wants me to take out... Oh, I know. It wants me to take these metal screws off the flipping thing. These. I think I've got the right size. Nope. Let's go down a size. No, that's too big. None of my hex bits fit. That's going to be a problem. Excuse me whilst I go and try another screwdriver set. Okay, so I found something that kind of vaguely fits. Good enough for what we need. So that was a step I completely either missed out or wasn't even featured in the manual. So that's really bad on IBM's part, or my part. But let's not point fingers. Let's get this motherboard replaced. So now this bracket should come off now, which is technically holding down the power jack. Which we disconnect. And we try and get this off. I'm not too sure. I've never taken apart an IBM ThinkPad before in my life. I've been really putting it off just down to the fact of how complex these units really are. But the thing with IBM is because everyone loves them, all of the service manuals have been archived and documented. Unlike Sony Vaio laptops, which are so damn obscure, but you can't find the manuals for them anymore. So they're so complicated, and because there's no manuals, you can't do nothing with them. So that's bad. Anyway, I'm gonna keep trying to rock this metal piece out, and I'll get back. And we have successfully got the circuit board out. So this is a IBM T42 motherboard in the flesh. So that's what one looks like. Of course, this motherboard now is incredibly outdated, and it was surpassed by the R series, and then subsequently the introduction of the legendary T series. So I'm going to put the motherboard over here out of the way because no one cares about it. It's the old junky, crappy board. So this is the port that came with the new board. Take the little charging tip off. And this is like the one that came on the other one. They look identical. And, well, purely because this one is actually still attached. But then again, because this one came with the board, I want to make things match up as much as possible. So keep that, and this can go with the other motherboard over there. Cool. So, R52 board. Here it is, in the flesh. Looks absolutely gorgeous. So that's... how does this go on? Oh dear, he's forgotten how it goes back together. Laugh at this user. No, it's a user error. But then again, this is like upside down because the connector doesn't line up. So maybe if I flip it the other way around. Right, but then I flip it the other way around, it doesn't fit at all. Unless it's different. But then again, it's just a wire. I can course a wire in any direction I want. So I just bend it. As long as it goes in the connector the right way round, doesn't matter. Just getting the damn thing in is the hard part. This is the right board, right? Unless he's giving me a T62 board. But this is the R52 board, and that power jack's just fallen back out. And that came with it, so that came up. Let's just plug this into the board, just so it is held in. And then, like, try and twist it like that. Click that in like that. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. No. Now it has to be this way around because there's a screw hole, sneaky screw hole. Now, I don't remember if I had that in, like, wrong screwdriver. I'm not sure if I had that in that way around last time. I remember there were two screws that were attached, a long one and a short one. I believe this one was holding in the... This one was holding in the port. You can't do things with even two hands. Why are we humans only given two hands? Why weren't we given four? Because we could do so many things if we had four arms. No. Evolution said screw you. Okay, right, let's just manipulate that in. Boom. Okay, cool. So now my charging port is attached. This I can now maneuver around the printer port. I hate parallel printer ports now. Which is weird because I'm normally quite forgiving to stuff that most people usually detest, like Windows 8 and printers. But the parallel port is what eventually spilled my doom. Let me just unplug it from the board. Gives me more. Oh, yes. Okay. Yay! Okay, it's in. Now, it was attached to the port itself, which wasn't attached to the casing, so we can rule that out as a problem. It's probably why I struggled to get it out in the first place. Let's put that into the screwdriver. The yellow one. Ouch. Make sure this is done up nice and tight so it doesn't ever come undone. Even though I'm twisting the board doing that, don't do that. That's a bad move. Now, these come with little washers. I don't know if you can see them, but there's little washers. So when you take them off, make sure not to lose the washers. Although I don't really think you need to take them off, but just in case you do, like you have to replace the power port for some reason, which I believe that's probably the only reason you'd have to take that off, then they've got washers. Right, let's peel this back off. Get that out of the question. We don't need that screwdriver anymore. Now this is purely just down to a fit. So you just got to manipulate the board so it snaps back into those little holes, especially on the audio side. This is why I don't like molded audio jacks, because it's really hard to get the board back in. And that's probably why IBM, I don't think, did motherboard replacements. I think what they did was they replaced the whole bottom shell with a board in it, because they built the case around the board. But then how would they do that? Because the temperature needed to mold plastic is well above the melting point of even lead-free solder, so... Well, this is kind of like bending. Why is this bending? That's not right. It shouldn't be doing that. This is really, really difficult. Okay. Guess it's just metal. Metal will be metal. It's a material. It's gonna do that. Right. Got to put that side in first, because otherwise nothing else will go in. Yeah, this is super tricky. Just maneuvering screws out of the place. I don't know what they went to now. I've completely forgotten where any of these screws went. Oh, this is a nightmare. Who built this? Right, I'm gonna finish doing this and then we'll restart once that's done. Right, we are in. Whew, that was a challenge and a half, wasn't it? Right, so let's go ahead and put the screws back in to what I believe all these parts were for. So I know this had a single screw, so I think I might need to pause again whilst I go and fetch new parts. Or new screws. The thing with screws though is that for some they don't need to be special lengths, but a lot of these are the really long 12-inch screws. So that's going to be a problem. And there's another one that goes in there, but I'm not too sure. So I'm going to go grab my replacement screw kit and we'll be back. I now have screws. So let's take this one back out and let's compare the length and the size. Because the length and the size is incredibly important. I think that's what this is, M2.55. Slightly thinner. M2.5. Yeah, that seems to match up. I'm going to double check in the manual anyways. So 2. M2.4mm. M2.4. Yeah, but that's too short. It has to be M2.5. But is that the width or the length? Probably the length. Yeah, I'm going to go with M2.5. Is this even the right screw though for the job? Might have been a completely random one that was just thrown in here. I do not know what the original owner did. Well, I do, but not 100%. I don't know the extent. But it does appear that this is working fine. So yeah, that's now adhered down with 2 screws like it should be. So let's have a look at 1 and 2. So there's M2, 3. 3 goes under the board, so we can access that later at a later time. We don't need to worry about that. So, but that's like a really long one. So just to check out screw 1, which goes into the USB port, M2.548. M2.58, not 48, but it is 8. Let's try it out. No, that just slots right in with no Nothing at all. So oh, oops, that's the wrong one. I was looking at it from the other side, so sorry, no. This one. M2.4. M2.548. I don't know, I mean it's sticking out quite a lot in here. I'm gonna just put that in and hope for the best. Okay, so now we just gotta put that port back in that they were talking about. Which I believe also had something to do with like the little switch on the drive bay. I don't know, that's molded into the plastic. So I guess we just plunk that back in there, reconnect it up. That's telling us how to remove the port, but we don't need to take that out. So there's like a thing you got to clip it into. Oh, I see. So there is a switch on that wire. There is a switch, but that clips into the board like that. This is a very, very poor installation. Like that's all kinked back here. I don't like how that's installed, mind, but there's not much I can do about IBM's engineering flaws. They weren't guilt-free. So there should be an M2.4 screw. M2 times 4. Okay, that goes in there. Then we put the screen back on almost immediately, so just the screen comes back into play. But then again, what about the other screws that were to do with this thing? Well, that can hold it temporarily. We can take it out later, if need be. So there was like another screw back here, I think. Screw 7 was an M26. M2.76. Sorry, no, that was M26. I'm not sure how long that screw is. Might be for something else though, so we're going to leave that one out. We're going to use an actual size screw here. Ooh, don't like that being all the way back there. And they apparently need to put a screw back in, which I think is the same size. Yeah, I do believe that screw actually did go in there. I think it's not down to the size, it's down to the length. So the screw has to make it all the way down. So this one can come out, go back in the pot. We'll use the original, especially when it comes to stuff like hinges, because that's can be detrimental to the entire device. So we don't want that. The more structural integrity the computer has, the better. The more missing screws, the less integrity we have. So we need to be careful. Oh, I believe that they're blocking the camera again, but there were 4 rather thick screws that go in there. Yeah, there's like a metal thing I'm missing. I can't do anything about that. So let's put these screws back in. Or try to put these screws back in. This is a problem. I might have to do this on the side. What was that? So, yeah, we put these screws in the correct order. Maybe. There's a lot of little steps you gotta take just to make sure the hinges are like lined up. We'll have to redo those at some point, but I think for now they do look like they work at least. That is very, very, very bad. We will probably fix that later. It's not a problem. Then there's like some screws for that big metal thing. Then again, that was put on underneath. The screen was removed and then this was put on top of it. No, I'm gonna just leave it as is. Let's just get the Wi-Fi antenna out of the way because I don't think it's important right now. We need screws, lots of them. Oh, we have 2.10 millimeter flathead nylon coated. Screws 11 are only for a 15-inch LCD. M210. Start with screws 11, M210. M211. We don't have any M210s. We have M28s and M26s, but they don't fit. M23 for 2 screw. Small head. I don't know, this is very confusing. One sec, I'll get that out of the way. Right, after doing some much fiddling around with the display assembly, I've got it to a satisfactory state. So let's continue with the reassembly process. We've got this piece, which I have no idea where the hell it goes. Oh no, it goes this way around. I think belongs here. This is slightly bent, which is concerning. M2 times 12. I was about to say we don't have any until I said, oh, hang on. We do have a few, actually. Let's take the tape off this. This was a bunch of screws that was given to me for this machine. I'm not sure precisely which ones are for this and which ones aren't. I suppose as many as I can humanly get is good. So whichever is an M212. No idea which one's what. Maybe this one? M2.512. It stopped there, so that one's a bit long. Let's try something a little bit shorter, using this as a reference. What about this one? Yeah, that one's a tad shorter. This one might fit. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. I know there's hair and everything everywhere. Don't you hate it when that happens? Thinking that one doesn't look long enough. There's going to be a lot of disassembling and reassembling just because you think you've gotten bits wrong. I know there are definitely parts missing off of this, so we're either going to have to suck it up or try and find them, because a lot of them are really small metal brackets. Okay, yeah, these two are the same screw, so we can put them there. Are they the right lengths? No clue. I wish there was a sort of screw measuring device where you would screw a screw into a hole and then it would use lasers or something and measure it, saying, yes, this is, or say the exact measurement, saying this is M2 point whatever. Yeah, a lot of these brackets I think have been bent through rough handling, so that's not good, but we'll have to deal with that. Oh, the plastic cable run thing. Just move all these out of the way. Yeah, there are definitely two big brackets that are missing. Well, there are multiple parts missing. One of the big bits being the heatsink, obviously. Can't escape that. So, plug that in here. Okay, let's click that in there. Oh dear, that's come that's popped out. That's not good, but that's fine. We can just fold it under here. That makes sense, because then that can cover that up. Well, can cover it up, permitting. Yeah. Just feed the Bluetooth in and then the Wi-Fi one. I think IBM do tell you where these cables are routed, whatever. Don't care. Oh, this is annoying. I really hate this. But it does tell you where the wires go, which is a big help. Apparently it goes under a flap that's completely missing, so that's convenient. But the grey wire goes down this track here, under here. I just got more thermal paste on my fingers. Ugh. Stuff is disgusting. Slimy too. And because I don't have enough space, I'm going to just feed it in here. That barely fits. I'd say that's Orcs, maybe? And main, I believe, is black, because it's longer. Could be completely wrong, but I don't think it really matters. It doesn't affect anything. It just changes where the antennas are receiving and broadcasting signals from. Is it an FCC violation? Probably is. Do I care? I don't think anyone cares. Doesn't bother me because I'm the end user. If it was IBM that did this, then they'd probably be fined several million quid for that blunder. Anyways, that seems to be matching up properly. It says, make sure this goes under there. I'm just gonna feed this under this little metal flap, because there's no plastic flap there. The only diagram here is the metal. There we go. Cool. Well, that's all lined up and shouldn't be causing any issues that I know of. There's a little flap here, but because it's probably so flimsy, it might have broken off at one point. Probably used to be here or something. I'm not sure. No, I'm gonna plug the display cable back in just to ease my mind. I do like the fact that the little button that puts the computer into sleep mode is actually on the cable itself. I think that's in. It might very well not be. Cool. Right, well, let's just put that there. There's no other batteries in this computer, so we're not shorting anything. Right, it says it wants some sort of adapter that goes here. I didn't see one. I didn't see one anywhere that looks like that remotely, so that's another part that we're missing. And that's probably what screws into there, which makes sense. Step 1 is for models with a 15-inch LCD. Okay, what is this one then? M2.512, which will probably be one of these big long boys. Well, no, one of these big long boys. So where did that go? Or was it maybe this one? Or was it this one? They all look the same. This is an outrage. Yeah, okay, so that's what that does. It holds this bracket down here. So this is now completely held down. Amazing. And it's black. So that's how we can tell what screws go where. So where's our little card cassette bay thing? Did I call it a cassette? What's wrong with me? Lift this up. No. Well, there's a reason that won't go in. Because that's for the T42 motherboard. So that wouldn't have been causing our problem. So we can't put that in because it needs its own special bay, so we haven't got a bay that we can put in. That's okay for now, but it will cause problems in the future. And there's apparently a bracket that goes over this as well, the display cable, but I don't have that bracket. The PC card slot assembly. Now there was 2 screws, M2.4s, I believe. Are these M2.4? Either or. Can't use those at the moment. But I'm going to just double check that they did go through those holes in the bottom of the board. Yeah, they were close. I don't know, but that doesn't matter because we haven't got anything that holds it down. Oh, hang on, didn't that say that was by the... That was not by the PC card bay, because that's... No, it was. My bad. I'm looking at this side, thinking it's that side. There's another part that's missing. I-1394 bracket. Well, we got that at least, and that's screwed in. R52 series would have had that, yes. Okay, speakers. We got speakers. We can install the speakers. We got them right here. So let's click those speakers in. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And just cool. Speakers are in. And then there's 2 screws that hold it down. M212s in black. So fetch another couple of these M212s that I happen to have on hand. And they have to be speaker screws. I don't understand. Why aren't these going in? They are the screws it wanted after all. Well, maybe this side's going in. Oh, there we go. Just needed a little bit of persuasion. These are sticking out really bad. I'm not sure these are the right screws. But they're the only black screws I was given, so it has to be those. Now they have set torque values, but that's for like IBM people, and I wouldn't know torque anyways. Powered backup battery, don't have one. Processor, there's already one installed, but we're actually going to take that out and get it cleaned up off camera, because I like to be 100% concentration when I'm repasting and cleaning CPUs, so that is out of the question. Next, of CPU fan assembly, don't have one. Thingy card is in. That's weird. Aux and main. So main is apparently grey and aux is black, but that makes no sense. And why is this lead longer than this one? Unless it has to go around like a stupid extra track or something, but it can't. It physically can't. There's just excess from the factory, which we can't deal with. Let's try and redo that then. Well, no, main obviously won't reach, so that's now aux, and black is now main. That's got to go in here. There we go. Make it slightly neater. It's not the best in the world, but it'll work. And besides, someone's going to be seeing this anyways. Anyway, that's like an Intel one. This is a Broadcom, so it's probably different. And that's just, it's concerning the top panel, which we don't need to do anything with, because it all came off as one piece. So, do they just want me to put this back in as one whole chunk? I would assume so. Yeah. Let's just pretend the keyboard isn't there, but we can't because this has to go in. Shoot. Bit weird, but I think I can manipulate the connector around that. Get that to go in the right section. Oh no, I'm whacking things with my elbow now. Okay, cool. And then I think there were 2 screws or something that went in there. I don't know. I think it was these. These 2 random screws I've just found off to the side. Nope, neither of them. before. These are the two I installed myself, because neither of them would match. How would you take the keyboard off of here, though? That makes... I don't understand how this would come off. Yeah, I think this panel comes off. Oops. Lucky I didn't rip the ribbon cable doing that. Yeah, I mean, it sort of works. You just gotta, like, wiggle things around. Oh, I didn't know what that was, but it sounds like something just snapped. But I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear anything and continue reassembling. So you said you wanted this to go in. I'm gonna have to go backwards a little bit. Reassembly. Secure the keyboard bezel on the underside of the computer with screws. Yes, and you see that. Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't want to go down for some reason. I don't know why. It won't go down here. What is causing that then? Oh no. Don't tell me it's down to the screws in the speakers. Yeah. Yeah, this is quite annoying, so I'm going to pause here and I'm going to do it myself. Okay, so a lot's happened. Not much good either. I've accidentally caused a plastic bubble on the bottom from inserting a screw that was too long. So now that's permanently there forever. It's never going away. And now I can't get the keyboard back in. Who designed this thing? It's terrible. I mean, they're designed for work and, you know, indestructibility, not being disassembled. Something is screwed in here so tight it's actually pulling it down. Yeah, that'll be the screw. I think that's how it's done. Yeah. Yeah. Just lost a key. There was a key there. That's not nice. I don't know where my key's gone. I've lost a key somewhere. I'm gonna deal with that later. So we've installed the keyboard, yep, plugged it in. Oh yes, screws. That's an important thing. Just checking the keyboard key isn't underneath the screen. That's going to cause problems otherwise. I don't know. M212. 3 of them that go in the keyboard slots marked 3. They say that they're black screws, but the black screws cause more damage than the silver screws. So I don't think IBM is telling the truth here. One, two, three. I hate this plastic bubble. It's like in a really noticeable location, and it's really thick, so it's now there forever. Unless I sand it away, but then. Right, so screw next to the keyboard, yes. Screw here, screw there. And there's a screw here. I think that's what that is. The notched end of the DIMM into the socket. Oh, yes. Got to insert our DIMMs. Oh, wait, that's not the right DIMM because this motherboard uses some weird type of DIMM. Right, no RAM for you then. Right, put that in like that. And this for the hard drive just goes in. I can't get this back in. This is a really weird design. That's broken something, I'm sure. Am I supposed to squeeze it? How is it supposed to go in? Yeah, I just think it goes in like that. Maybe not then. Just don't bother with that part at all. Maybe it just needs a hard drive, but I don't have any hard drives. HDD screw, security screw. Multi-bay. Battery. Yeah. So that's basically the ThinkPad R52 reassembled, in air quotes, because it's really not. There's parts missing all over the place. And I think it came out worse than when we started. There's a missing key, for Pete's sake. With this piece. Don't know what that piece is for, but it looks like it broke off of something. So yeah, that's a problem. But we did it, I think. We've reinstalled everything and the computer is basically now assembled. Better than it sort of was. It's got screws in it now. So I'm going to get the CPU all cleaned up. I'm going to get some new bits for it on order. And we're going to finish this off, probably off camera, but this will be finished. So this is not the end of the ThinkPad T42, R52. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more.